Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really fun video for you guys. I am going to be painting on this solid block of gold. Okay, well, it's not actually a block of gold, but it is very pretty. This is a canvas and it has been painted, as you can see here, a canvas on the back. It has been painted with this beautiful gold paint, and the paint is actually this chroma acrylic one that I picked up from my local art store, and it was only like $10 or $11. But anyways, it is so pretty. Like, I just was so surprised with the finish on this canvas. It's just been painted with a few coats of this gold paint, but I just think it's so beautiful, and I wanted to make a video where I paint on it today. Is it weird that I'm kind of tempted to just leave it gold because of how pretty it looks to me? But I can't do that because I am making art, and yeah, let's start that off. So to begin, I knew I wanted to paint a portrait of a person, at least. Not like a full realistic portrait, more of like an illustrative portrait, because it has been quite a long time since I have actually properly drawn a person. Now, I'm not sure why, I just didn't feel sort of connected to that subject. Like, I don't know, I just felt like I didn't want to draw people for the longest time because I was interested in other things. But I actually finally got the urge to paint a person, and that's what I'm doing today. Now, of course, I am going to be including an animal in this painting because I can't help but draw animals and paint animals because I love animals, and I definitely wanted to add a little bit of interest to this as well. I didn't want it to just be like a static person like posing in front of a camera. I wanted it to feel a little bit magical and feel like there might be a story in there. Now, going into this, I really had to think hard about the colors that I wanted to use. It was kind of tempting to do just like a black silhouette on the gold, but I felt like that was just a little bit too easy. And to be honest, I've done similar things in the past, and I wanted to see if I could make a color like portrait work on just a solid block gold background. And the way I thought about doing that was with a slightly limited color palette. This beautiful gold color is a very standout, a very sort of showy color, and I knew it was going to take the full, it's going to take your attention quite a lot. So I didn't want to go too full on with the colors in the piece because I felt like it would be a little bit too busy, and it would also detract a little bit from that gold. And I felt like if I added too many colors into this, they would sort of fight a little bit for your attention. So to make the whole piece a little bit more harmonious, that's why I decided to limit the color palette. Now, that does sound a little bit strange because at first I said I wanted to do like a full color piece, and then afterwards I was like, okay, I need to limit the colors because of this like beautiful gold background. So that kind of feels a little bit contradictory, but the way I went around that was basically everything does have natural colors and colors like they would in real life. It's just that the things I would pick, I would make sure, their colors fit the color theme. Anyways, I'm rambling on a little bit too much. So the animal I decided to add into this illustration was a little snow fox. Now, the anatomy in this is a little bit questionable, especially towards his bum area. Honestly, I was using a reference of a dog when looking at, a person holding an animal, and then I don't know, in that reference, like the dog's body was sort of hidden like under her arm, but this fox is a lot fluffier than a little dog, so I ended up making its body a little bit bigger, and then I kind of just like painted it on as if like, how I thought it would go. And it's not the best, honestly, but I ended up fixing that up later in the illustration. And as you can see here, I'm just going in with some block colors first. And I don't want to go too crazy with the blending or anything like that because I kind of want the characters to be, I don't know, to stand out and not be too busy because of the crazy, you know, super bright background. I'm definitely not going for realism, that is. It's more of an illustrative kind of drawing. So I decided to go with grey for her clothes, and since she is holding a snow fox, I decided to give her some warm clothes because I felt like it really fit the theme, and it's kind of, I don't know, at this point it's starting to feel a little bit Christmassy, especially since I added in a little bit of red, which is the other accent color that I wanted to have in this painting. But I ended up making it less Christmassy later on, which I actually really like. Now, I actually had a few different choices for the red that I was going to use because I have a whole bunch of acrylic paints, and the choices I had were quinacridone red, vermilion, and Venetian red. Quinacridone was actually more of a sort of pinky purpley kind of red, and vermilion was more of like an orangey red, but I actually ended up deciding to go with Venetian here, which is actually a really nice sort of subdued red, which I think helped a lot with the fact that we have this bright gold color. I didn't want another super bright color, and it really did help too that the Venetian red was an opaque color, which I think my other two reds are more of the transparent or semi-transparent, so it really helped to layer over the top of that gold with the opaque color, because when you're painting on a metallic color and you want it to stand out, you probably don't want to use transparent colors over the top. Now I'm just adding a little bit of subtle shading to the face here just to make her nose and chin stand out, and honestly I really love the way that the face came out. I just think she is so beautiful, and I really love how I only subtly shaded her as well. I feel like it just kind of really helps with the whole aesthetic. Now here comes the interesting part of the artwork. I actually decided on quite of a risky move. So my idea sort of comes from inspiration from other artists where they would draw a sort of gold detailing around their subject, and it's sort of just like a textural gold halo around them, and it looks really pretty, and I love that style. But since I'm working on a gold canvas, I decided to say, like, what if instead of that I had a gold background and then I used the other colors to sort of surround the subject. And then I had the idea to have it sort of like really sort of, I don't know, kind of like a dry brush technique where I would just smear the paint a little bit here and there around the subject so it would sort of engulf and surround them, and I would use black and red to do that. Now that is quite risky because we have a nice little like cute painting here, and then adding in those sort of red smears, it kind of gives it a slightly different feel to what it had before. But honestly, I really love that. I love how it gives a sort of mix of a few different feelings, because you can see her face, she looks quite relaxed and at peace and happy, and then she's got this like cute little fox that has a slightly mischievous look on its face, and then I don't know, it sort of just changed the whole mood of the piece with the black and red smudges going around them. But I really love that. It's kind of really ambiguous. You don't know if this artwork has a really sort of warm feel to it, or if there is a slight morbid feel to it, or if it's a mix of both. I guess that's up to the viewer's discretion. But I actually really like that, and once I added those details onto the painting, that's when I actually started to really like it and go, okay, I think I've made something here that I really love, and this might even be my favorite acrylic painting that I have made. So after this, I just need to fix up a few details here and there, add a little bit more fur tufts to the cute little fox, and add in just some fixes here and there on the smudges, and like little details like little dots on its cheeks, and like shading here and there to emphasize the little creature. And honestly, I really love this. I love the final results. I think it looks so cute, and it's definitely not what I was expecting to paint when I started, but I really love it. And yeah, I don't know. I guess when you just make an artwork that you're like surprised that you made yourself, it's a good feeling. I really like that it's sort of a different style than I usually draw or paint in, and it's definitely a different style than I would usually use for people as well. And I'm kind of really interested in developing this sort of art style further a little bit and just seeing what I can do with it, because it's kind of interesting and I don't know, something different, and I like it. Like perhaps I could experiment with the strange swirls of color and black that are like going around the character, and you know, maybe I could experiment a little bit more with this gold paint because it is quite beautiful. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this artwork, and what would you paint on a solid gold canvas yourself. So if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button, and I hope you're all staying safe out there, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye everyone.